Hi team, good morning. So sorry for late. Today I have some internet issues. And by the way, belated happy Diwali. Hope all of you have celebrated very well. So we'll just wait for 2 minutes and we'll start the session today. So I hope all of you are going through these topics which we have discussed earlier. And so let me know if you have any issues or any doubts if you have, and so that we'll get connected. And okay, then we'll start with this session. So today we'll work on unique function in the physical file. Okay, and if possible, we'll work on some functions, and tomorrow we'll discuss about some members concept in physical file. Okay, so let's begin. So as usual, type work member PDM on the command line. Work with list of source members using PDM tool. Okay, so we have created two physical file members. One is EMP and EMP1. And whenever you do any changes to the source member, you need to recompile that object. If you recompile that object, then it will create a new object. So during that case, during the time, if you have any data in your physical file, and if you're trying to create an object with the same object name again, then you need to delete that existing object to create a new object. Okay, in that case the data will be lost, so that is one point you need to remember. And so this time, so I think in my previous session I haven't done any save for my DDS, so that's why it was asking me to, do you want to recover the last session changes which you haven't saved till now. So I want my changes back. Okay, and see, if you remember, unique is a file level function. So file level always will be on top of record format level. Okay, in your physical file DDS, this is your record format name. So always the name type R indicates a record format name. So this is how you can able to recognize, and whatever the values or the statements which is next to the record format type, those are all field level. If you specified any K over there in key name type, then it means you are trying to work with the key field level. Okay, so now you need to type unique in the file level specification. So unique is just a function, so we no need to type all these values: name, ref, length, data type, decimal position, use, all this. So you can skip all the way all these functions, all the values and all, and come to here, come up to this point, functions, and type unique, UNIQUE, unique. So as and when I type this function and I pressed an enter key, so that system will understand where it should get reflected. So it will get reflected under this functions position. So function starts from here and ends here. Okay. So these values on the right hand side, these are all the date value. Okay. So this will tell you this source code was modified or added. Anytime if you do any changes, the statement date will get changed. Okay. So now if you see the unique function line statement was modified with 221026, it means YMD format 2022 year, 10th month and 26th date. Okay, on this date I modified this source code by adding this unique function in the file level. Okay, and there are couple of dates is also getting reflected. This is 22/10/19, means October 19th, and this is October 21st, and so on. Okay, in the same way, these are all the list of sequence numbers. Okay, sequence number will use to identify, will give you how many statements are there in your source member. Okay, so as and when you do any changes to your source member, better execute a command called save, which will save your DDS. Okay, and if you want to save your DDS and come out from the session, type file over here. Okay, if you type file, and it will save your DDS and it will come out from that session. But I have some few more things to do here, which is nothing but I have mentioned this function unique in the file level, but I need to specify from this list of functions, list of fields which I mentioned here, which field should be a unique field. Okay, in an employee table, if you see the list of fields which we have mentioned here is employee number, employee name, address, gender, and salary. Okay, unique means which is not a duplicate value. Okay, so if you think about an employee name, see, there are in an organization, there are multiple persons having a same name. Okay, so we can't go with an employee name. So in case an address, in the same location, 2 or more employees can be there. Okay, so then address is also not valid. And gender, so there are many people which have same gender, male or female. Okay, and for salary, one or more employees will have a same salary, so that is also not a unique value, so we cannot consider those fields as a unique fields. Okay, so one is employee number always unique to every employee in the organization. And even if we have a field like employee phone number, that is also universal unique number across the world, I can say. Okay, that is not within the organization. So around the world, a phone number will be a unique number. Okay, an employee number is a unique field within an organization, and as per this existing fields, which is displayed here, we can use this employee number as a unique field as per DDS layout. Since we don't have an employee phone number, I'm going with an employee number as a unique field. Okay, so whatever the field that you want to maintain as a unique, that function, that key field, that field should be a key field. Okay, IPPF. IPPF means insert prompt for physical file. Okay, press and enter key to indicate it's a key field level. The name type should be K and your key field name should be ENO. Employee number is your key field. Okay, so press and enter key. So the level got captured. Okay, and if you want this prompt to be gone without entering any values, and press an enter key, or else you can press F12 from your keyboard so that this prompt will be disappeared. Okay, so now if you see, you have mentioned your unique function the file level, and you want to apply this unique functionality to your employee number. Okay, now if you're trying to enter any duplicate values in an employee number, it will not allow you to enter any values. Any duplicate values. You can enter some duplicate values in employee name, gender, address, salary, whatever it is, but only in employee number you can't mention any duplicate values. Okay, which should be a unique. So let's try this change and we'll see the output how it looks like. Save your DDS, type file and come out from that session. Okay, so since you have done some changes to your source member, you need to compile your source member. Okay, 14 and enter key. Already there is an object which has exist with the same name in library, and the source location is this one. Based on the source location, this file was created, which is already exist, and you want to create a same object name within the same library, then you need to either delete that existing object and create a new one, or else create with a different name. Okay, so these are the two ways we have, but we want to maintain the object name as it is. That's why I want to delete that existing object and create a new object with the same name. So in that case, we need to give this option as Y. Now your existing object is deleted, new object is created, and there is a member EMP added to your EMP object in iDream 1 library. Okay, so this is done. Now if you do a run query brackets EMP, at this point of time you will not see any data, existing data in your file. In case if your file is having some data, since you have deleted and recreated it again, your file will not contain any data at this point of time. So if you want to insert some data in your file, UPD DTA, update data, and EMP. EMP is my object name where I want to insert some data and all. Update data, press an enter key. Now there is no data, so that's why your default mode will be entry mode. And now if you see this list of fields which are getting displayed here, out of all these fields we have an employee number which is highlighted in white color. It means now your employee number is a unique field. Okay, it means this is a key field. Whenever you have any key field listed in your physical file, that fields will be highlighted in a white color. Okay, remember this point. Whenever you see any field which is highlighted in a white color, it means that is a key of your file object. Okay, the rest of the fields are not a key fields. These are all not a key fields. Okay, now let's try 10 Verma, address Hyderabad, gender male, has salary 300, enter, accepted. 20 Gopal, VSKP, male, 302. Now if I try to give this employee number as 10 again, let's see. My employee number is Ram, and name is Ram, number is 10, address is Kukatpalli, M, salary 303, and if you press an enter key, see now you got an error message. This time we can treat this message as an error message. So what does it say? File EMP cannot have a duplicate key. It means whatever the highlighted field is there, that's a key field. So in this field we don't accept any duplicate values. So this employee number 10 is treated as an duplicate value. Okay. So now if you change this value to 11, we know this employee number 11 is not exist. If you press an enter key, now it is accepted. So that is how it will work if you mention any unique key field in your physical file. Okay, so now without giving an employee number, let's give a try. Vegas, female, 600. See, this time I haven't used any number over here. It is just a blanks. Remember one thing, if you leave the field blank for an character value, for character field, then the default value will be blanks. Blank is also a value. Okay, and for an numeric field, the default value will be 0. So 0 is also a value. Okay, now leaving this field as blank for a numeric field and press an enter key. See this, even if you leave this field as blank for a numeric field, it is accepted because that blank is also considered as a value for a numeric field. So that is why it is got accepted, and this is the first time we have given this value as blank. Okay, it means there is a hidden person who doesn't have any employee number, but he is an employee of that organization. Okay, I'm not sure who is, but as per the technical terms, that is how it is. Female 599. Okay, these numbers are accepted. Now if you're done with your adding the records to your physical file, come out from this session by pressing an F3 function key, and if you are done with your data entry, leave the value y as it is, and here you can see the list of records which you have added is 5, and there is no change records and there is no deleted records. Press an enter key. Now if you want to see the data in your physical file, as usual type run query brackets emp. Okay, say this. We have all the values for an employee number except this fourth record. We haven't mentioned any value to this employee number, but system has used the default value for a numeric field is 0. Okay, so even if you leave the field as blank for character, in case if you have mentioned a character field as an key field, and if you have mentioned any value to the character key field, then system will consider that field as a blank. Okay, if any field is blank, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have any value. The blank is also considered as a value. Okay, so this is how it is. And one more thing is, now as per your DDS, currently you have only one key field mentioned as a unique. So in the file level you have mentioned the function as unique, and in the key field level you want to apply this unique functionality for an employee number field. There might be a cases where more than one field can be a unique. Okay, so that is called as a composite key. Okay, composite key means whenever you have more than one field set as a key fields, then it called as an composite keys. Okay, see, forget about this unique functionality. Okay, if your file doesn't have any key fields, then how does the record fetch from your database file means it will use that record number as a sequence. Okay, it means read the first record and read the second record and read the third record and read the fourth record and so on. So based on the record number, system will try to fetch the data. Okay, only when you specify a key field over here, it means you want to fetch the data irrespective of, instead of using a record number, you want to fetch the data based on this key fields. Okay, in this case, instead of saying that record number 1, record number 2, then I can ask for okay, get me the record for an employee number 100, get me the record for an employee number blank 0, like that. Okay, or else in SQL statements like a where conditions, in SQL statements we use a where conditions, right? So that where conditions acts like a key. You want to fetch the data based on a where conditions. Okay, where an employee number is equal to so on, and department is equal to some IT department, and if there is any salary is greater than 10,000, and fetch those values. It means those values acts like a key field. Those values are keys to fetch the data from your database file. Okay, in a similar way, the fields which you have mentioned as a key field acts like a fields and where condition of your SQL statement. Okay, So do you understand what I'm saying here? Let me know if you got confused so that I can repeat the statement again. You can give a comments in case if you have any queries. I can see the comments over here. I don't see any comments. Okay. I hope you all get understood. So specifying more than one key field is called as a composite key, and if you want to fetch the data more than one field, then all those fields has to be mentioned in this key field level. Okay. Now in this case, I want to fetch the data based on an employee number, but while fetching this data or while trying to insert this data, I want to make sure this field as a unique field. In that case, you need to mention this unique. See, in an interview point of view, they might ask you, while specifying this unique function, do you need to specify this key field level or not? Yes, that is mandatory, because you are trying to specify unique function in the file level. It means you want to apply unique functionality out of one or two fields from your field level. The list of fields that you have mentioned under this record format level, you want to mention, you want to consider one of this field as a unique functionality. So that's why you need to mention which particular field that you want to apply this unique functionality. That should be mentioned in your key field level. Okay. And it doesn't mean that always if you specify a key field, this unique functionality is required. Okay. You can mention n number of key fields. Okay. But in that case, this unique is not needed. Okay. If you mention this unique, then key fields are mandatory. And there might be cases without having this unique function in the file level, you can mention n number of key fields like this. Key field, employee number, and an employee name. Okay. So now in this case, let's say an employee number 3, and in case if that employee number is 3, employee name starts with an S, then fetch the data. Okay. In that case, I'm using these two fields. I'm fetching the data from that file. Instead of reading that file might have thousands of records. That file might have thousands of records, but out of those thousands of records, I want to fetch only some particular records. Okay. So those particular records I want to fetch using this employee number and employee name as a keys. Okay. If there is an employee number which is greater than 50, and if an employee name contains a value like RAO, then fetch those records from the database file. Okay, so that is also one more scenario. Okay, so in this cases, you need to mention this key fields. Okay. Okay, I will tell you one more. Okay, so we'll add this. Okay, so instead of e name, I will mention this region, for a better understanding, I mentioned this employee number and employee gender as a key field. Okay. Let's see, in this case, since I modified this DDS, I need to compile this physical file object again, recompiled it. Now if I press an F9 and run query, there is no data. And again you need to enter your data into your physical file, UPD data, UPD DTA. So I just mentioned UPD DA space EMP, so which is not an correct command, so that's why system has given a message on the bottom line of the screen. So UPD DTA and EMP. Now this time if you see, there are two key fields. Two fields are highlighted in a white color. Earlier it is only one field is highlighted in white color. Now this time two fields are highlighted in white color. Okay. But remember, we haven't mentioned these two key fields as a unique key fields. Okay. How to identify these fields are unique means, by looking at the DDS, there should be a unique function mentioned in your file level. Okay, so then only you can say that your file is having a unique, and the list of key fields which you have mentioned at the key field level, those are all the list of keys which will not accept any duplicate values. Since we haven't mentioned any unique, now these fields should accept a duplicate values. So employee number 10 M Verma, address Hyderabad, and salary 300, and press an enter key, it is accepted. Now again type employee number 10 and gender is male and employee name is Gopal and Vegas 400. Now this time already we have an entered value with an employee number 10 and gender is male and it is accepted. Now this time if we try to enter the same keys for these two key field values and let's give it a try, it is accepted. Okay, all of you, are you getting me? At least if you understood this concept, then give a like so that I can able to understand. You're able to understand these concepts. Now if you give this employee number as 10 and male and Sasi Kumar, address UK, salary 500. Even though if we specify the same keys as many number of times that you want, still it is accepted. Okay, so now if you come out and if you see there are 3 records are inserted, press an enter key and do a run query on your file. If you see this employee number is 10, for all the employees, the number is 10 and the gender is male. It is accepted. Okay. So go back to your DDS. This time, if you add your unique function, the file level, unique. So this time I haven't pressed an IPPF because I know where the function should start. So that's why I directly went to this location and simply I type this keyword unique. Okay, unique in the file level. If you are done with your DDS changes, then type save or file to save and come out from the session. I mentioned this unique in the file level and I mentioned this two key fields as a keys to fetch the data. But now this time this unique functionality will apply to this two key fields. Okay, so now these two key fields should not allow any duplicate values. Save and come out from this session. Since you've done the changes to your database file, you need to compile this physical file, delete that existing object and create a new object and do a run query. If you see there is no data, all the data is lost. Okay, updata and type emp and this time if you press 10 and mail Verma Hyderabad salary 300. Okay, press an enter key. The record is accepted because that is the first record in your physical file, so obviously it should get accepted. So now the value employee number is 10 and mail and Gopal and location is Bhopal. Name is Gopal and he belongs to Bhopal location. So that's nice. Okay, so now if you see earlier, whatever the value that employee number 10 with the combination of gender as M, which is accepted for every employees, but now this time we got a duplicate key because these two fields should not accept any duplicate values. Okay, because we have mentioned a unique functionality in the file level and the list of keys which you have mentioned is employee number and employee gender is a unique field. Okay, but we have one twist here. Okay, the employee number is 10 and gender is M. This combination is not allowed. If we give this employee number as 11 and let's see, still this gender is male, accepted. Okay, now if you type 10 M and Verma UK 401, enter, that is a duplicate key. Now if you type this employee number as 11 and male, which is already exist, that is also not accepted. But if you mention this employee number 11 as it is and change this gender to female, now if you see that value is accepted. Okay, here you need to understand one point. Just come out from that screen and do a run query. do a run query. So now if you see this employee number 10 and male, and if you're trying to insert that same employee number 10 and male, which is not accepted, and employee number 11 and gender is male, which is already exist, and if you try to give the same combination again, it will not accept. But employee number 11 and gender, if you change to female, then it will be accepted. Okay, employee number 12 female accepted, employee number 13 female accepted, employee number 10 male and 11 male and 12 male and 13 male, which is accepted. It means the combination of these two values should be unique. Okay, the combination of two values should be unique. Either one value should be different, and the combination 10 and m is already there, and 10m will not be accepted. 10f is accepted because employee number 10, there is no female with that employee number 10, so that is why it is accepted. Okay, employee number 10, apart from this m and f, I do not want to accept any values in the gender field apart from this male or female. So this is restricted to enter only two values, whether it is small case m or capital M, small f or capital F. So this will contain only two values because in the DDS level itself, I just mentioned that constraint. Only combination that we can change more than one, more than two means this employee number field. Okay, this male and female with the different sets of employee number combinations. See, always the combination is, unless until the combination is unique, you can enter multiple values. See, now this is two fields combination, right? Two field combination means probability of 2. Probability of 2 means 0 0 accepted, 1 1 accepted, 1 0 0 1. Apart from this, do we have any different combinations? No. So those many number of combinations can be accepted with the probability of 2. So I just want to explain this. What is the difference between a composite key and a normal key? Okay, and I need to explain this command DSPFD. DSPFD means display file description. Always, just if you are aware of this WhatsApp chatting and all, if you type how are you, if you want to type how are you means, usually we mention that shortcut as HRU. Okay, as a how are you. In the same way, if you want to display a file details for display, DSP is the shortcut. For file F, and for details or description, D is the shortcut. So DSPFD is the shortcut command to display the file description of an EMP file. So this will give you the complete details of your file EMP object. At this point of time, without looking at your source code, if you want to see if your file is having a unique functionality or not, type unique or any other keys, like I want to see if there is any field, if there is any value which is listed here which starts with U and I or not. Okay, and if you see at the bottom of the screen, There are multiple functions are mentioned here. Press F24, and there is a F16 function. Key stands for find. If you don't know how to find this key in your screen, then you can search for any options are there on the screen, or else any functions are listed on the bottom of the screen. You need to search for that always. So press F16. Now if you see, this keyword was found here. Unique key values are required. Whether it is required or not, it will listed here. Unique functionality was mentioned as S, and your access path is keyed access path. Why it is keyed access path? For retrieving the data from a database file, always there should be a path exist. That access path, you're trying to access the data from your physical file using a keyed access path. Means if an employee number is 10 and if he is a male, then only I want to fetch the data, or based on this employee number and gender, I want to fetch the data, means those fields acts as a key field. So that's why it is a keyed access path. If you haven't mentioned any keys in your database file, then this access path will be mentioned as arrival. Arrival means it will read the data from your physical file using a record number. Then in that case, no one will ask you to fetch the data from a file like an employee number is so and so, then fetch the data. Then if a gender is this one and fetch the data, we can't mention like that. Okay, we can't mention means we can't fetch the data based on those keys. Anytime if you want to mention the keys, then it will be a keyed access path. And if you see under this DDS, we have mentioned two key fields. Okay, so what are those two key fields? Without looking at the DDS of your file, means if you go to DSPFD on your physical file, then in this physical file details page, you can see all this information listed here. We have two fields and the record format is EMPR, and the key field name is, the first key field name is employee number and the second key field name is EGEN. Okay, so this is also one interview question. Without looking at the DDS of your object, how do you identify whether your file is having a keyed sequence access path or a arrival sequence access path? Or else if you want to know what is the record format name or how many key fields are listed in your physical file, is that file is containing a unique functionality or not, you can find all this information by using a DSPFD command. Okay, we have also created this object called EMP1, right? By looking at this DDS, we can able to understand. Okay, can you please tell me like what type of access path it is being used here? Whether it is a keyed sequence access path or else a arrival sequence access path. Does anyone know? Based on the recent discussions, if you listen my words, then can you please tell me like by looking at this DDS, what type of access path it might be used? Keyed sequence access path or else arrival sequence access path. So it is simple. We haven't mentioned any key field level here. We haven't mentioned any key field level. It means without key field, if you want to access the data from your physical file, then it is obviously a arrival sequence access path, which will just read the record based on the record number. Okay. To mention the key fields, the key field level is enough. You no need to mention any unique in the file level. So that is optional. Only if you don't want to allow those key field values as a duplicate, then only you need to mention that keys as a unique on the file level. Okay, now give a try, and on EMP file, let's see whether it is using a keyed sequence access path or else arrival sequence access path. DSPFD, I want to display the file description details of an EMP object and press an enter key. And now this time I was checking for UNI QUE unique. So to search this keyword in this screen means you need to press shift plus F4, which is trying to find. See, I just mentioned this unique in the find field. Okay, so there is no keyword with unique. Okay, so at least okay, instead of trying to do a find, if you press page down, that is also fine to check. There are multiple, there is so much of information listed here. See, now if you see the access path, it is arrival sequence access path. Now this time this is not a keyed sequence, this is a arrival sequence access path. It means system is trying to fetch the data from this physical file using a record number. And do you have any key fields? No. If your access path itself it says an arrival sequence access path, then obviously there will not be any key fields. You might be having a key fields, but it's not necessary to have a unique functionality. Okay, so that is also one point. So that's all about unique function. And if you want to understand how this unique function works means, one moment. Unique in PHYSICL physical file. Unique keyword in physical file. Okay, always suggest you to go through an IBM website, because IBM is a father and mother for iSeries and mainframes. So they will have more information listed here. And this Go for AS400 is also best website, but that is a secondary concept, like a secondary URL. Okay, and if you go to this website, you can able to understand what does this unique functionality will do. You have your description, the syntax of unique. There are much more. Even in the unique also we have some extra parameters. Exclude null, include null. Null value means which doesn't have any value. Okay, as I said earlier, if you leave the field blank for a character, it will be a blank for a default character value. If you leave the field blank for numeric, the 0 will be your default value. But the 0 and space, those are also considered as a value. Without value means that field is containing some null value. Null means it doesn't contain any value. So just remember that. Exclude null and include null. Okay. And here is your example how to mention your unique in the file level. See, always remember system will not give you the complete DDS of your physical file. This is just a sample structure how to use this unique functionality, just a high level. And we have already worked with a function called values. Okay, and if you want to see this value, this values is a keyword which is used in both physical file and logical files. Okay, and these are all the syntaxes examples. Syntax example 1 and example 2. If you know all these concepts, then you will be a king. Okay, that's it. No faculty is needed. No explanation is needed from anyone else. If you go through the complete concept from this website, whatever the information is listed here, then you will be the hero and you will be the expert in AS400. Even I might not be knowing this complete functionality. Not even me. Most of the people who are already working on AS400 technology, they might not be knowing the complete functionality of each and every command, how it works, and how the complete keyboard will works. They might not be aware, but whenever there is a situation comes, they know how to overcome those issues. Okay, because there might be n number of versions that might be coming up, and for version to version, there might be some couple of changes. Based on their experiences, they can able to easily understand that why this issue that come up and how to resolve that issue. Based on that, they will go through the structure once again, and they will see what is a latest feature was added to this function, and what does that function means and how it will work. By looking at that functionality on a high level, that's it, they can able to understand and they can work on this process. Okay, whatever the function that you want to search for, like a column heading. Okay, this function is also used in both physical file and logical file. If you type column heading, and this is a syntax and this is an example. Okay, we have every function and every command related description was listed here, which is enough. Okay, so that's all for today, and tomorrow we'll discuss about DSP FD and DSP FFD, display file description and display file field description in detail, so that you will understand what is those commands used for. And if possible, we'll start with members concept as well. Members is also an important concept. You need to listen these concepts from beginning of this classes, so that you will not miss the flow, and you can raise your queries in case if you have. Okay, and mm, can anyone type any message in this live chat? Because I'm not able to see any messages. Even I don't know whether we can able to type any messages here or not. Just because in case if anyone is having some queries, then if they type their queries, then I can able to understand whether they are able to understand or not, or if they have any queries, or otherwise I may understand that you people are able to understand and going through these concepts. Okay, no chat, live chat. Okay, so that's all, and so daily we'll start the class at 10 o'clock as usual. Every Sunday is a holiday, and apart from Sundays and apart from festival holidays, the rest of the days and will continue with the classes, and always please be on time so that as and when I started, so you can also follow me. And if you want to get in touch with me, I will be available on Skype. My Skype ID is master.as4000. So that is my Skype ID. So that is also one more easiest way to communicate. So let's see. That's all for today. Have a nice day. Bye.